Hey everybody, welcome back to MTG Spec, and we're going straight to the mailbag. So this is the comments I got on my video whinging about Alpha Investments blowing the 6.9 year anniversary kit and overselling by 93 units, blah, blah, blah. A lot of you took the time to comment. Thank you. If you see the little skull with the heart, that means I read your comment. I try to leave that for everybody's comments just to let them know that they did reach the content creator and their comments have been acknowledged. So, but a lot of people did mention what a dummy dum I was for not going straight to Patreon. Obviously, the original video, if you didn't see it, was simply saying that I got the notification really late on email form and for the Rudy 6.9 year anniversary kit, and I wasn't aware that it had started at 9 o'clock. I thought it had been delayed. Went to Patreon to figure out why it had been delayed or if there's any content there, and it was said sold out right away. Now it does look like I am getting a kit, and thank you to anyone who was a patron of Rudy who gave up a spot, so to speak, or better yet, cashed in for a Crucible of War first edition box, which I was really tempted to do, but I did not volunteer to do that. Although having watched a lot of the box opening videos for the 6.9 anniversary kits, I kind of wish I had. Because, you know, the Hopes and Dreams area, the third layer, it sure got built up a lot by Rudy as being like this big playground. And, you know, there were a couple of videos I saw open where it's like somebody got like every single pack of, I don't know, like it was the entire bottom was like layered with these amazing collector boosters and all this stuff. I guess the Santa Rudy's pretty cool, but most of them, it just looks like a little tumbleweed rolling by with like an Ikoria Japanese ancillary booster, which is always at least 3 copies of Stupid Mothra's Cocoon and or Mysterious Egg, whatever. And then I don't know, like sometimes a Rudy Santa Rudy card, but I don't know. It's a little depressing to think about. But anyway, I want to just go through a couple of these. A lot of people kind of were on the same page as I was, but a lot of people who were more savvy than I was mentioned, like this guy David Uribe from 3 days ago, definitely always go straight to Patreon. I learned a long time ago not to wait on the email notification to arrive. Well, you know, I haven't done a lot of the Rudy sales. They've all been a little bit disappointing in a way. Let me just real quick go through the few I've actually done. Okay, I did the Zendikar Rising collector boosters. I got two collector boosters in a box with no padding, and oddly enough, there were no fetch lands or expeditions inside. I mean, there other than the box topper, which has nothing to do with Rudy, but it left a bad taste in my mouth. But anyway, I don't blame Rudy for that. Not Rudy's fault. Next, there was the Monarch First Edition, which I sold my 9.8 copy of Edge of Spider-Verse 2, the first appearance of Spider-Gwen, CGC graded book, which is now worth $2,000, so that I could spend the $1,000 to get 2 Monarch First Edition boxes, which are now worth about $200. Again, I will say, not Rudy's fault, although he did pump it up, and it's a little bit Rudy's fault. And then other than that, I don't know. I took him up on his offer when he did the make good for Monarch Unlimited boxes, where he sent a case of those at a discounted price. I thought that was cool. I was happy to see that. Although, oh my God, I feel so sorry for all these people getting a case of Unsanctioned as their Magical Rudy slot. I've only seen 2 people open up an actual altered card. But anyway, let's see who else thinks I'm a dummy dum. Never depend on Michael Keith. Never depend on email. Go to Patreon first. Rudy cannot control when Gmail arrives. These are all true things. I have sent through Gmail that took hours to arrive. And I you know, let me just show you guys real quick. Let me just show you the timeline real quick of my emails. So up here, all right, this is the area of interest. 9:06 p.m. Friday Night Magic Sale announcement. Okay. And then what was next? Okay. I sent a payment at 9:08 after I went to Patreon and figured out everything was effed. And then look at that, 9:08 sold out. So that was the timeline I had to work with. And Rudy mentioned in his video that, there he is, of course, handsome Rudy. All right, there he is. Hey, folks. He mentioned that if he had limited the quantity to only 1 per person instead of the 4 per person, it would have only lasted 3 extra minutes. Well, as you see, from the time I got, again, I'm acknowledging, yes, go to Patreon first. That is the lessons I've learned from this. Okay, that's the lesson I've learned. But not knowing that, it would have doubled the amount of time almost that I would have had to bid. And I'm sure someone out there who, doesn't, maybe doesn't hang out on Patreon or, isn't that savvy, whatever, like I am, who hasn't done it very much. Like somebody else out there, I'm sorry, I'm fiddling with the camera. Somebody else out there would have had maybe the same issue. But anyway, let's go back to my comments and see what else people had to say. Think of the positive side. $6.99 can buy a lot of other things. That's from Clearance Collector. It's basically buying expensive lottery tickets. And yeah, the buttons. What do you get? Like 6 buttons. And you get 1 Santa Claus card. Not Santa Claus. You get the 6.9 Rudy MetaZoo card. I've seen those buttons go on eBay for about $100 each. So if you assume they're going to maintain a value of $100 each, plus the fixed MetaZoo card, then yeah, that's pretty cool. That's still, you're breaking even if everything else you get is trash. And the MetaZoo slot is way better than the stupid, what was it, the Flesh and Blood slot, the blank cards. And it's like when Rudy pulls a split rare. It's like two effects on 1 rare card in a magic opening, and he says it's a 0 rare booster. That's kind of how I feel about the Flesh and Blood. And the magic, I don't want a pack of alliances. I want that Sue Ellen Brown art. But again, there's 200 out of 2,400 kits, so very unlikely. I don't even know if I'm going to open my pins on camera. It's a 1 in 100 chance of getting a stupid pin. But anyway, I'll figure that out later. That definitely sucks, man. Hopefully you get it. Thank you, Ronnie. I hope I do too. Best of luck, my friend. Hope you get your cook. Thank you, Closet MTG. Bummer, man. Hope Rudy makes it up to all of you who missed out. Should sell 1 per person in the future. Savannah Lion, thank you. I agree. I think that would have made a big difference. And again, I'm just pointing out that if you're a boomer like me who's not tech savvy, I'm filming this with a phone, but I don't have a phone. I know that's my fault. It's not Rudy's fault. But, if you're on a PC and you're just kind of like, hey, it's 9 o'clock. I'm going to probably get that email soon. And that's what you're watching out for, so you can find out the exact price and click it. The military and the crypto patrons, by the way, they get way advance notice. Why is that? Why do they get advance notice? I guess because it just takes longer to process, but they get to know the prices before everybody else does. So why can't we know the price and then he just starts to gate it once the time elapses? I don't know, because that email goes out way before the regular email. Monk sucks that he might not get the kit. I think I will get the kit. But this is definitely not because of the system. His system is actually the reason I love buying from him. The current online markets sell out in milliseconds due to botting and other false account buyers. I don't know if that is all true, but I will stipulate to that. Same thing happened to me. Been planning to get this kit since January. Yeah, it's a little rough. And here's the thing. Creepy Rudy. Let's go back to Creepy Rudy here. This guy has thousands of videos on his timeline. Has he ever once warned patrons to watch the patron site and not wait for the email? Has he ever done that out of his, 5,000 videos? Now, I admit for the 5th time this video, it's my fault I didn't go straight to Patreon. And those who figured that out before me are smarter than I am, and I'm a dummy dum. That being said, I am going to follow in this great man's footsteps. And by the way, I love Rudy. You should subscribe. If you can be a patron, be a patron. I'm still pro Rudy. I think he's a good guy. But that being said, how come Rudy and every other guy who has a Patreon on this platform, How come they don't warn people to go to Patreon rather than wait for emails? Like, why even send the emails? You know, if that's the thing, if that's the best course of action. Has he ever once warned his patrons in his 5,000 videos, watch the Patreon, don't wait for the email? Has he ever done that? If anyone, I'm going to follow in his footsteps, because he has bounty cards. He has, like, you know, any of the buttons that end in 69, they're a bounty in the 6.9 year anniversary kits. I am going to put a bounty on Rudy. I'm going to say, if any of you out there can find a video or a clip from a video that shows him warning patrons to check their Patreon and not wait for emails, then you will get 13 reserve list cards. Here they are. You get a Balm of Restoration, Goblin Flotilla, the Great, Hummerage Shaman, Mercenaries, Mountain Titan, Jungle Patrol, Phyrexian Purge, Wave of Terror. Ooh, a gold bordered Cursed Scroll, because gold bordered are the same as non-gold bordered now, as we've learned from the 30th anniversary thing coming out, which I will address in another video. Temporal Aperture, gold bordered, yes. And then 3 foreign language. Was that Rainbow Efreet, Phantasmal Sphere, Sierra Illusoria, and Tidal Coast, I don't know. Indontita. That's just Florida after Hurricane Ian. So, yes, you will get these lovely 13 reserve list cards. If you can send me a link with a timestamp, please, to a Rudy video warning patrons to watch for his sales on Patreon and not wait for the email. Thank you. Okay, bye.